Okay. So, in summary, my church is reaching out to the community a lot, more outreach and service, and trying to think. Oh, and then online worship and gatherings online. And that's
Okay. Okay. Uh, in this time, my church is doing online service and focus on mm, the gathering together online for the adults and other other department service. And if uh, through this time is longer, getting the longer, I think it is a good opportunity to focus on the family worship in the church. So uh, by by longer and longer this time, I think church is have to focus on the family worship, and I think family worship is more important than the ev- everything and other things in this time. That's it.
Uh, so just as we've all talked about, like family worship is very important, and it's something I've really noticed this semester just with this class and the church that I've been a part of this past year, of just how important it is for a family, for the parents to lead their own family in worship and everything. And just with the coronavirus crisis and everything, and all these different events and things that we put on are just kind of stripped away, it kind of gets us to the mindset, okay, have we really equipped our parents? Because right now the parents are the ones that have to lead, because we're not all gathering together in church. They can't rely on the church to do all these different things. So how have we equipped our parents? And I'll say that my church has done fairly well. Before this all kind of happened, we were putting together a resource page for our parents to kind of help guide them in leading their family in worship and devotionals and stuff like that. But when the crisis came on and we had to start working remotely and everything, we decided, okay, let's knock this out, because this has to take priority, because now our parents, they need this. So we've made all sorts of resources for them with devotionals and how to run that through with their family. We've made it age appropriate for different age levels. We've plugged in other online resources and websites and stuff. We've created like our corporate online services. And then we've made some preschool and kids and student worship services as well that we post online that the families can go through together and experience uh, and all that. Uh, but I think we've done a really good job at connecting with our parents and getting them prepared for this, because we've heard a lot of feedback from all these parents, not only asking for the resources, but after they have them, of just how much they enjoyed going through these with their kids and continue to look forward to going through them.
For me, I don't think my church actually teaches well about for the parents how to disciple their kids. And but I think family worship is should be the priority, like the first important. It is the most important, but because the church does not teach how to disciple the kids, the parents, they are not ready and they feel pressure about it. And I think a lot of families, when they worship, when they do worship, I think they just read and the parents, they teach. But I had that kind of time, like every day my parents, like we had family worship, but it was really boring for me because I didn't have like time to talk, you know. So what we can do is that we should teach, you know, for the kids to speak through the Bible, like their thoughts, even though it can be wrong, but it is very important, and listening to their opinion respectfully. So yeah, that's my opinion.
So with my church, we are also focusing on, like everybody else has said, putting our services online, having events. We're doing Zoom meetings for our youth, Zoom meetings for our children and their parents. And I think we're doing a good job of actually pushing and saying that we need to do family worship, and we're giving them resources. But I think it's a little bit like when we tell people to read their Bible. We tell people to do that, but yet we don't model for them or show them how to do that. So we end up with just people doing the best they can or doing what they think family worship is. I have one family in my church that they get together and they literally lead worship in their house. So they all have instrumental and musical backgrounds, which is great and wonderful. But, you know, we hear the term worship, we don't necessarily think about the Bible time. We just think, oh, well, we get together and we sing a bunch of songs, which is, again, great and wonderful. But I think it's just kind of led to some misunderstanding. So I think it's us as a church, we've failed to teach what family worship actually is and the full aspects of it. So I think we have parents who are well-meaning again and are doing the best they can with what we have given them, but they also don't know how to fully lead a worship time with their family, go through teaching, as even Jay said, you know, giving the children time to speak, think through their ideas, allowing them to. And that's a great teachable moment for us to be able to say, hey, look, you're on the right track. You're thinking through this, but you need to think about it this way and kind of redirect them. So I think that's a great idea as well. So that's just kind of my thoughts on how we have been doing during this situation.
Yeah. In my home church in China, the services has been moved online for quite a long time. And in the meantime, I also noticed that because it's moved online for a long time, actually the online service can only be a temporary way to do worship because we miss the interpersonal communion together, which is very important, in Bible. So for that reason, I think the family worship is much more important than ever. It's not only a kind of spiritual impact to your children, but also it's like to fulfill the missing part of the online service, which currently we have to adapt with. So for that, I think it's a good reminder of the question itself, that in our church, in our home church, I mean in China, actually we should bring this concept, encourage people to do family worship, and in the meantime, also to provide resource and kind of like let them know how to do it in a real way. And even beside that, I think more important is also to change, to put this in a higher importance in the daily schedule of the parents, because as a parent, I notice myself that there are more things to do than normal because we have to take care of children themselves. And basically, the natural thought is to take care of their academic progress, not let them fall behind, but which also is a temptation that we may overlook the importance of spiritual, let's say, spiritual teaching or spiritual conversations with them. Yeah, so I think that's basically my idea, is that to bring this family worship concept to my home church, and also to start to show parents how to do that and highlight the importance, change their mind. I think that's also can only be done by more prayer and also, prayer and also activities. Yeah. Thank you.